So today, since we've already learned about metric conversions, customary conversions, and we already have notes of what all of those are, today we're actually going to go over the study guide. So if you have finished the study guide, then you may watch the video straight through and double check and make sure that you have your work. If you have not completed your study guide yet, then I would like you to pause the video, work the problem out by yourself, and check your answer as I go over it. That would be the best way for you to study. So remember, we've been talking about precision and being precise, following all of the steps. So let's make sure that we do that when we're going over this. So Oliver's helping his mom make lemonade. His recipe calls for 2.5 cups of lemonade per pitcher. How many cups of lemon juice? So I have cups, but it says cups. So I'm not making a conversion to a different number of cups. I'm not doing that. So, but I want to make 20 pitchers. So I have one pitcher and it fits 2.5 cups, but I want 20 of them. So I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to set myself up a rectangle sections. 20 times 2.5. 20 times 2 is 40. 20 times a half. I can put my 1, and I have 20 over 2. So I have to add my two parts. Well, 20 halves, 20 divided by 2 is 10. So my answer should be 50 cups of lemonade. Let's look at B. If they make 20 pitchers of lemonade, well, that was what I just found out. How many gallons? Oh, now I have where I need to show my steps. 50 cups equals how many gallons? Remember to pause the video if you've not already done this. Pause it and then watch. So I have to make cups are smaller, gallons are larger. When I'm going cups to gallons, I need to divide. Smaller to larger, divide. I need to look at my chart and see how many cups are inside of a gallon. I have my big G. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. There's 16 of them that fit in there. Well, let's see how many 16s fit into 50. Let's see, 16 plus 16, 2. It's 32. Let's try a third 16. All right, let's see what I have. I have 48 of them. So it goes in 1, 2, 3. I have 3 whole gallons, but I was supposed to have 50. So 48, the difference between 48 and 50, I have 2 extra cups left over. So how many gallons of lemon juice? Well, could I just say 3 gallons and 2 cups? No, the question said gallons. So I think I actually need to buy 4 gallons. So I need to round up. So in order for me to be successful on this question, I had to have gone back and reread the problem and seen exactly what they were asking. So at field day, students were competing in a relay race with a total distance of 500 meters. There were 4 students on each relay team. Well, I know relay teams relay when one person does something and they hand it off to the next. So this was the total distance, and I have 4 of them that are participating. If each student ran the same distance, how many centimeters did each person run? Okay, I have 2 steps. I have to change them from meters to centimeters, but this is a total. I need to figure out how much each person ran, so I'm going to have to divide it by 4. So centimeters are smaller, meters are larger. So larger to smaller means I multiply. What am I going to multiply by? Let's look at my chart. How many centimeters fit inside of a meter? I'm moving over 10, 2 places. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 centimeters. 5 times 1 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I have to divide that by 4. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes in 1 time. 4 goes into this 2 times. Goes in 5 times. So, how many centimeters did each person run? 12,500 centimeters. Let's label. I'm going to circle and make sure we understand that that is my question. Was I precise? I showed my steps. I did everything that is asked of me to do. So how many kilometers did each person run? But I have my answer as centimeters. So now I need to change them into kilometers. So let's look and see. Oops, I forgot to label. Let me go back. So a centimeter is smaller than a kilometer. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to do 12,500 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want to know exactly how many kilometers that is. So if I'm going to divide by 1,000, so I'm going to see how many times that went in. So this is a good problem for us to be using a calculator. On the test, this section would be one that we would be able to use the calculator on, the EOGs. I'm going to go grab one real quick, and we're going to see how many times that goes in. So when you take your assessment on Wednesday, you will have access to a calculator. Let's look. 500 divided by 100. Okay, so they ran 125 hundredths of a kilometer. All right, Jillian and her family are moving from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. Jillian compares the annual rainfall to help prepare for the movie. So her average rainfall was this much. Average rainfall in Seattle is this much. Which city gets more rainfall? How much more? Okay, I have this one that is in inches and this one that is in feet. I need to move one to the other. I would rather multiply, and I know multiply is when I go from larger to smaller. So I'm actually going to change it this way. 3 1/4 feet, and I need to change them into inches. So I could have done it the other way. I could have gone inches over to feet. So, but I like to multiply. I would rather multiply than divide. So if I have 3 1/4 times how many inches are inside of a foot, well, I know that. I don't really need to look, but I could just in case. I go to my 1 foot, and it's equal to 12 inches. All right. Actually, since I'm able to use a calculator, I'm going to change this into a decimal. I'm talking fourths. 4 of something that goes into 100, that's quarters. So let's see. That was 3.25 times 12. It gave me 39. So what was 39 inches? Portland was 39 inches. Seattle's 37 inches. My question says, which city gets more rainfall? That would be Portland. How much more? The difference between 37 and 39 is 2. Portland gets 2 more inches. Okay, so I had to convert, but I had a choice which one I was going to convert. It didn't tell me which one to do. I just had to make them be the same measurement so that I could check. All right, let's move on to number 4. Miss Moffat poured 3 2-liter bottles of soda. 3 2-liter bottles of soda into small glasses for guests to drink. So I have 3 of them, and it has 2 liters inside of each one. She poured exactly 250 milliliters into each glass. All right, so how many glasses was she able to fill? I have 3 2-liter bottles. So how much do I have? 3 times 2 is 6. I'm starting with 6 liters. And I want to change those into milliliters so then I can split them up. So a liter is larger, a milliliter is smaller. How many milliliters fit inside of a liter? Here's our liters, here's our milliliters. 1, 2, 3 places. 10 times 10 is 100, times 10 more is 1,000. Milli means 1,000. I know there's 1,000 milliliters inside of a liter. So larger to smaller means multiply, so I'm going to multiply by 1,000. 6 times 1,000 is 6,000. So this is how many total milliliters I have, but she's pouring this into each glass. How many glasses could she fill? So I need to then split this up, divide it by 250. Since I'm able to use my calculator, I'm going to 6,000 milliliters, splitting them up, because into each glass she's going to pour 250. I get 24 what? Glasses. How many glasses? 24 glasses. So this number, 250, goes into 6,000 24 times. One evening, a pharmacist filled several prescriptions, which requires the use of a scale to weigh the medicine. Which prescription weighs the most? Explain your answer. I have a kilogram, gram, gram, kilogram. So half of them are the same and the other half is the same. So I have to make them all be the same. I like to multiply. I know when I go larger to smaller, that means multiply. So I'm going to make all my kilograms turn into grams, because I like multiplying rather than dividing. So how many grams fit into a kilogram? I know that's gram to kilogram. 1, 2, 3 moves. 1 with 3 zeros. 3 powers of 10. Am I multiplying by 3? No. The 3 has to do with the powers of 10. I can predict what I think my answer is going to do, what's going to happen, how those numbers are going to shift around the decimal. They're going to shift 3 places, so I have a feeling it's going to be my number without a decimal. Yeah. So this one was 2035 grams, grams, grams. So I have one more to do. Kilograms, and I want to turn those into grams. Large to small, I'm doing the same thing. I'm using precision by showing my work. There's still 1,000 grams inside of a kilogram. I think I know exactly what's going to happen with my numbers. 895. Now let's go back and look at my answer. Which prescription weighs the most? I have them all in grams. So prescription C is the largest by a little bit. Prescription C weighs the most because
Good morning, Dana Pierce. If you're in the building, if you could call the front office, please. Thank you.
Because I converted all kilograms to grams. My work will stand for itself. Mrs. Jones went to Rocket Fizz, a candy store in Cary, to buy candy for her sister's party. She had enough money to buy 1 1/4 pounds of candy. She put 24 ounces of candy in her bag. Does she have enough to pay for the 24 ounces, or does she need to remove some? I need to change my pounds to ounces. I need to see how many pounds, and I have to compare it to ounces. So here's my pounds, and I'm going to compare it to ounces. So let's look and see. Larger to smaller, multiply. I'm going to change my 1 1/4. Again, I know fourths are worth quarters. How many ounces are in a pound? I know that because there are 16 ounces inside of a pound. So I'm going to multiply that by 16. 25 hundredths times 16, 20. So this is actually equal to 20 ounces. Does she have enough? No. She only has enough money to buy 20 ounces. She has to take some out. So no, she does not have enough. How much more? She has 4 more. She has to take out 4 ounces. So, a good thing for us to make sure that we do before we have our assessment on Wednesday is to make sure that we have memorized these facts. A good way, you are not going to be successful because you cannot use these on an assessment on EOGs. You have to memorize the facts that are in your notes. Please make sure you've done that.